going over them. Okay, so we were discussing about an object data type yesterday. I'll go over a little bit about the object data type to concrete the memory from yesterday, and we will switch over to the functions. As I promised yesterday, we will be discussing more about, I'm sorry, not the functions, the loops today. Okay, great. One last time, Narayana, can you help me to create an object of, let's create an object person. Can you help me to do that?
Where car equal to?
Where, try to do a person now.
On a person?
Yes.
Where person equal to?
Okay. Equal to?
Braces?
Like a flower braces, curly braces?
Flower braces.
Okay, the flower braces. Okay.
Okay. Name?
Okay.
Name equal to?
Equal to?
Some person name like
Okay.
Sanjay or something.
Okay, Dave, let's say. Okay, next.
Okay, and age, after that enter age.
Okay.
Like 27 or something, equal to 27.
Okay, great. Great. Gautam, is this great?
Yeah, Vikram, I think in place of equal to, we have to use the column.
Okay, right in here, right?
No, not there.
Okay, so where? Right here?
No, that is correct.
I'm sorry, Gautami, can you take the control? You can have an option to take the control and correct this.
Yeah, that is correct.
Okay, there's a correct place here. Okay, so let me add a column there. Okay, and anywhere else I have to add a column? Colon?
At the age also, Vikram, I think.
Okay, great. Is this right?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Okay, and Narayana, do you think it's right?
I think equal to Vikram, but I'm not sure exactly.
Okay, so this is a perfect object. There's one thing that is missing. You need to have a comma separated between the properties. Okay, an object have properties.
Okay, Vikram.
Okay, so let's try to add, let's try to add another property to the person. So the way, how do I access the age from age from this age from the person? Let me console.log and
person dot age.
Person dot age. Exact. Awesome. Okay, this is really good, guys. Thank you so much for answering. Okay, now I want to add a gender on the fly. I don't want to hard code it right inside in here. I want to add a gender to my person object. Can you help me to do that? It's okay, guys. Use
where person equal to gender?
I'm
sorry? No idea, Vikram.
Okay.
Some disturbance is coming.
Yes, Gautam, me, I think it's from you. Gautam, I'm muting you for a minute. Okay, thank you. Is it okay, Narayana?
Yeah, okay.
Perfect. So I already create a person object, and what I'm going to do is add another property. Okay. After it's been created, I'm adding another property. The way I'm going to do that is, remember how we are retrieving the values person dot age in here.
Okay.
Person dot age. In the same way, if you want to add another property, you do the same thing. Instead, what you do is person dot gender equal to male. Okay. Now, if I console log my person and give it a run, you can see that the person object is age, gender, and name.
Gender, name.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. There's one more thing that is happening in here, guys. Did you notice that, first we added age and then the first name, then the age, then the gender, but my output has done something else to my the order of the properties. What did it do?
Yeah, order of the properties.
What did it do? How the properties are ordered?
According to alphabets, I think.
Exactly. Yes, it's called a lexicographical order. A falls much before alphabetical order, right?
Yeah.
Okay, great. So okay, so this was an object. Gautami, try to help me create an array.
Where array name, anything is
Just give me a minute, Gautami. Narayana, if I do something like this, instead of var constant, what can I still add the properties?
No, Vikram. It's the permanent. Once we anything we enter in the constant, it's the permanent. We can't change. We can't add anything. I think.
But in objects are not constant. Only primitive data types are constant. You can still create a person object and still can able to add the properties.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
And we can change the name also.
Absolutely, my dear.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
There's one difference
Yeah, okay.
between the primitive data types, creating a constant, to a object data type. Okay, there's one thing you have to remember. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, Gautami, are you ready to create an object array for me, please? I want to create.
Yeah.
I want to create a variable called cars. Inside my cars, I would like to have a lot of my car models. So help me to do that real quick.
Yeah, where cars equal to square brackets.
Okay.
And we can write car names.
Okay, Honda.
Honda, Benz, Audi.
Okay, Benz,
And
Audi.
we have to, in single quotes.
Exactly. Thank you so much. There you go.
Yeah.
Okay, and I would like to access Benz from this car, and I would like to add another car to my property. How do I add? Oh, I'm sorry. I was telling you a property. I want to add another element to the element to the array. How do I add it?
Other element to the.
Yes, I want to add Audi, Honda. I want to add a Nissan or Toyota into my car. How do I add it?
Idea.
Yeah. In JavaScript, array has two methods: push and pop. So I can do cars dot push and say Toyota. Okay.
Okay.
Remember the word push. Okay. And now I console.log and say cars. And what do you see? The Toyota is added to the cars, right?
Yeah.
If I would like to have the length of the cars,
cars dot length.
Perfect. Thank you. Great. Awesome, guys. Thank you so much. So you have an understanding of how to add the properties into an object, how to read the properties from the object, how to access the array elements, and how to access, how to push the elements into an array. This is awesome. So let's try to understand what a loop is. Okay. Imagine, guys, you have a particular task. Okay, very small task. Let's say I want to print a console.log message. Say, Narayana, do you have anything on your mind that something really nice line that I can print?
No, Vikram.
Okay. Let's say learning JavaScript is awesome. Okay. Narayana, if I ask you to print this sentence 1,000 times, clear and run. Okay. If I want to print this statement 1,000 times, Narayana, what would you do?
No idea, Vikram.
Okay. If I am getting started with a programming program, when I started, this is what my understanding was. Okay. I would just copy this 1,000 times and print it. Right?
Yeah.
But this is
the
right way?
No, it's not the right way, Vikram.
Right. So the program is supposed to be simple, should make your task easier. If there is anything simple, anything repetitive, your programming should have a minimum lines of code that should make it repetitive, right? And this repetition in programming terms is called a loop. Okay, what is it called?
Loop.
Okay, and we will learn what the loop is. Okay, so we will loop, and I'll show you something before I actually run the things. I would write a very simple loop. Okay, so let me just try to close this. Okay, so let me just write a simple programming, a simple loop. Do not worry about the syntax. Just stay with me. Where I is equal to 0, I less than 1000, and I plus plus. And inside my loop, I would just save this and give it a shot. Oops, let's put total. Oh, there you go. I always do this. Look what's going on there. I'm just printing one single console. This line of code is printing my learning JavaScript awesome 1000 times, guys. Okay. Let me put in that.
Okay.
Let me put in that number next to it, so you know how many times it's printing. You see this number going crazy here.
Yeah, Vikram.
Okay. And how many times do you think? Oh, let me stop this. How many times do you think it will run?
1000 times.
1000 times. I think.
Awesome. Exactly, right? Because my condition is 1000 in here.
Yeah.
Okay, Narayan Gautami, if I ask you to do something, for example, Narayan, if I ask you to walk 10 steps, okay?
What, Vikram?
If I ask you to walk 10 steps in a direction, okay, let's create a variable called steps,
Okay.
which is initially 0. Okay.
Okay.
Now there are, I would ask you to walk 10 steps. How would you start?
Like here means first.
Yes, you make a step. First, you count it as 1.
1,
You make
2,
another step.
3.
You count it as a 2 until you reach 10. Okay, I asked you to make 10 steps, so you validate a condition. Okay, 6 is less than 10, 7 is less than 10, 9 is less than 10, 10 is not less than 10, or 10 is equal to 10. Then I have to stop.
Yeah.
Right? There are
Yeah.
there are three things happening in here. The first thing is you have started with 0. Okay. And every time you make a step, you're increasing your number.
Yeah.
Right? And you're
Yeah,
checking
right.
you're checking the condition. Make sense? You're checking
Yeah, okay, Vikram.
if the number is less than or 10, if the number of steps you have taken is less than 10 or not. If the count is exactly 10, then you break there. You break, I mean, when I say you break, you stop there.
Okay.
Right? So we have
Yeah, right, Vikram.
we have three things going on here, guys. We have an initial value, we have a condition where you have to stop if the condition does not meet, and you increment it. Okay, let me switch over to my iPad. Give me a minute so I start writing something on my iPad. Stop sharing this. Okay. Can you see this, right?
Yeah, Vikram.
Perfect. Let me open up my notes app. Create a new app. Oops. Can you see my screen, guys?
Uh, it's like an white screen, Vikram. Nothing is there.
Oh, well, actually, I'm sharing the thing. I don't know why is it. Okay. Oh, there you go.
Yeah, now we can see, Vikram.
Yeah.
Perfect. Let me erase this guy in here. Okay, so let me take an example. Okay, so we are having an initial value. Okay, this you're making a step, right? So your initial value is 0. Okay,
Okay.
and every time you move make a step, you're making an increment of your number. Okay,
Okay.
so this is your increment. So what do you do is you take the previous value. If you're making as if you're on the 6th step, your previous value is 6. Then you
Okay.
add a +1 to it, and then you become your next value 7. And every step you make, you're making checking a condition in here. What is the condition in here? Saying that number of steps taken is less than. This symbol stands for less than, right?
Yeah, less than.
Less than 10, as I told you to take 10 steps, right?
Yeah.
So there are 3 things in here: an initial value, okay, a condition, and an increment, right?
Yeah, right, Vikram.
This is the same with a for loop. So let's take a for loop, which is just a for loop. Just starts with a keyword called for, and a parenthesis in here, okay?
Okay.
And my initial condition, right? Which is let's take steps. What is my initial what's my initial value?
0.
Right? This is my initial.
Yeah, right.
And next, I'm putting a semicolon in here. This is a syntax, okay?
Okay.
A semicolon in here. And next goes the condition. What is my condition?
Steps
Steps
less than 10.
Right.
Like
Steps should be less than
10.
10, okay? And every time I do, what's I supposed to do?
Steps plus plus.
Yes, steps plus plus. Gautami, do you understand what a steps plus plus is?
Yeah. Yeah.
It just increases the value by steps 2 plus 1. So this is equivalent to steps is equal to steps plus 1. This is a shorthand notation. Okay?
Okay, Vikram.
And then you have your actual code, what you want to do. For until you meet this condition, you're supposed to do something, right?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So let's try to hit the keyboard and try to reproduce this. Okay, so initially I have a step. I'm creating a for loop, okay, and a parenthesis, and my initial steps is 0, right?
Yeah, 0.
Okay, I'm just creating a variable in here, but not assigning any value. If I do not assign any value to a variable, what type of a data type is it?
I think it's a null.
Okay, give it a try. Let's see. Gautami, what do you think it's a data type? I do not really assigning anything to it.
If you do not
Assign anything to it.
Type of data.
Okay. Run.
Undefined.
Undefined.
It's very self-explanatory. You're not defining it with anything. Okay? Great.
Okay.
So let's create a for loop for steps equal to 0. Okay?
Okay.
And a semicolon. And my steps will be less than 10. A semicolon. And increase the steps. Okay?
Okay.
And console log. Every time you make a step, this console log prints. Okay? So clear
Okay.
and run. How many steps you have made?
10 steps total,
Including 0, right? 0 is your first step,
including 0.
right? As soon as you make
Yeah.
take 1, right, it goes. So if your initial step is 1, then you actually get the actual 10 steps in.
9.
To make then, oh, sorry. Put this 0 in here. You have to make the steps less than or equal to 10. Okay? You have to do, instead of 0, you have to make a 1 in here.
Okay.
Okay, 1 to 10 steps you're making it.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, guys, you're starting with 1 step. You're going all the way if your steps are equal to 10.
Yeah.
This is a for loop, guys. Any questions?
No, Vikram.
Vikram.
Yeah, Gautami, you have a question?
No, Vikram.
In the same sense, we have a while loop. Today's assignment is to understand what a while loop is. And we also have for in loop. Just go to W3 schools. Okay, you have JavaScript, for loops. You have a for loop in here. You have a different kinds of loop. You have a for loop, for in loop, while loop, and do while.
While, do while loop.
Okay.
Okay.
Just go over each of them. You can try to play around on, give it a try on each of them. Let me know if you do not understand anything. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Okay. So let's do this. Okay. Just give me a minute, guys. I'm trying to switch something. Okay. Okay. Can you see my screen back again?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, Vikram.
Let me show you something. Narayana, I asked you, I asked you take 100 steps. Okay. Okay, Narayana. But you know what? While you take the steps, if if you you're walking, let me tell you, you're walking in a forest.
Okay.
Okay, so I asked you, Narayana, make some 100 steps. The forest is not a walkable area, right? You cannot really walk straight 100 steps. If you encounter something, you break, right?
Yeah.
I initially asked you to make 100 steps, but during your walk, if if you cannot go any forward, or like, let's take an example, guys. Let's take this example. You're walking in a forest, and I asked you to find a particular tree.
Okay.
Okay, so you are exploring, Gautami, and you are exploring in a forest, and I asked, guys, this is a very dangerous forest. You cannot go more than 100 steps. But what you have to do is, I need a particular plant. Try to find me a plant within this 100 steps.
Okay.
Okay. If you find the initial condition was to make only 100 steps. Okay.
Okay.
So the second condition is, if you find a plant which I asked you to get it, then come back or break your steps there. If you're finding a plant on the 65th, 65th step, are you still continue to make the steps?
No.
All right, you break. But if you're not able to find the plant after 100 steps, even after completing the 100 steps, you still do not go after that, right?
Yeah, right.
Okay, so let's try to, there's one more keyword called break. For example, where I want to check, let's say if you're finding a particular plant at a step number 65, okay?
Okay.
A plant is found at step 65, okay?
Okay.
So inside my for loop, you make 100 steps. You make every step. You see around. If you find a plant, you break there. In order to break a loop is like loop goes forever. You have to break a loop at some point of time. One condition you can your loop can be break, or even you can get out of the loop is once it satisfies this condition. If no longer satisfies this condition, it comes out of the loop, right?
Yeah, okay.
But you know what? I want to stay within my 100 steps and try to check if I could able to find the plant. You remember the if loop we were talking about?
For in loop?
If condition. I'm sorry, I wasn't.
Yeah, if and else. Yeah, if and else.
So what I say is, if my number of steps is equal to, remember, I'm doing a double equal to, it's not a single equal. A single equal is an assignation. Single equal is assignation. Like, where A is equal to 10 A holds the value 10.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
But if I do something like this, double equal, you are checking a condition. I say A double equal to 10. They say, check if the value of 10 is equal to 10. If to check the value of A is equal to 10. Getting the difference?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
What I'm doing is, if steps is equal to 65. So this becomes, every time, every iteration goes, it will check. Is 1 double equal to 65? True or false, guys?
False.
False.
Right. Is 65 double equal to 65?
True.
Right. So I have to break at this particular condition. What I would do is, as soon as I find the steps and the plant is found at a step, then what I would do is, I just break it using a keyword called break. And this comes out of the, for example,
okay,
console log, say, I did not find plant at step, comma, steps, and let me do the same condition inside the if loop, okay? And I found, great. I found the plant at step, okay?
Okay.
I give it a run. Okay, let's make this 100 here because I asked you to make 100 steps, right? What just happened?
I did not find plant at step.
Okay, so what is happening in here is I have the break statement. It's breaking the loop even before it console log. So I'm moving that break statement after the console log. Okay, so right in here,
Okay.
now you can see it goes over the steps 100, and if it finds the steps is equal to 65, then it will console log this message and break. It will not go any further and run.
Okay.
Okay, so you're making 65 steps until you find the until you are at the 65th step. That's where you find the plant.
Okay.
Okay, makes sense, Gautami? You need a better example.
Yeah. No, Vikram.
Okay, so you guys have to help me to write a for loop probably on the Monday to check if the element is inside the array or not. Here's the second assignment. Assignment, check if the element is inside the array or not. Okay, so for example, you remember we had an array, right? Where array is equal to cars is equal to, hello, Pradeep.
Hi.
Hi there, you're a bit late today. Okay.
Yeah, sorry, I was in something else, so I couldn't join.
Sure. So you guys, you have to find if Nissan is inside the car side. This is your assignment. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Great. You have to just print a console message. The Nissan is not inside the cars. Then I would add Nissan into it. Then your logic should. Then your console message should be Nissan is present in the cars.
Okay.
The way you're gonna submit this assignment is you go to this particular website called JS Fiddle. Okay, and there is this little thing here. It says JavaScript. Okay, here you can create your cars, something in here, and you can do a console log. The other way, you remember where do we see the console log messages?
Console.log messages?
Yes. If you are in a browser and you want to see a console log message, where do you see?
Yeah.
Inspect, right?
Yeah.
And inside that, you have a console here. Okay. Okay, Gautami?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Or you can use this website called JS bin. You can go to it. You can create a new bin and share this link with me. Either ways. Or you can help me code it while I'm doing it in the class. Okay, great. All right, guys, that's about the loops, and let's try to understand a function today. You might probably, have heard this called a function. Narayana, Gautami, Pradeep, you might have heard this term function in programming, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. A function is nothing but a reusable piece of code. You can use it multiple times. Okay, let me show you an example. Consider function is like a black box, guys. And okay, let me show you this example. That will make some little sense to you. Okay, I have, you see this little sum machine. This sum machine right in here takes 20 and 10. Okay, and it does some mechanism inside the sum machine and throws 30. Make sense, guys?
Yeah.
Okay, it takes two things. It's for example, consider a function is kind of a mixer. you throw 2 or 3 items. If you're making a fruit juice, you're making you throw in strawberry, you throw in orange, or you throw in a pineapple, and all the 3 things put together. And when you open the lid, you put on your mixer and you open the lid, all the 3 arguments are mixed. Oh, I'm sorry, all the 3 fruits are mixed, right?
Yeah, Vikram.
It's kind of a same thing. You pass arguments into a function. Remember this, guys. It's called arguments. Okay, you pass arguments inside a function. As you put fruits inside your blender, you pass arguments into a function, and the function will work on these arguments and return you something. And this written in here is 30, and the written in here is the fruit juice. Okay. Now
Okay, Vikram.
the way we create a very simple function. Let me just create a function called sum. Okay, clear this. And the way you create a function is a very simple. It's a very simplest way to do it. It's called function function. Okay. Function and the name of the function. We are about to create a function that adds 2 numbers, so I'm calling it as add. Okay, and this function takes 2 arguments, because you know what, for example, let's say var a is equal to 3 and var b is equal to 4, and console log a plus b. What is my output? 7, right, Gautami?
Yeah, Vikram.
My output is 7. For example, I want, I need a reusable piece of code. Let's say, I really do not, the A is 3 and B is 4 in here, right? And I'm passing,
Yes, Vikram.
I'm adding these 2 variables in here. For example, I want these 2 variables to be passed into a machine, and I get the sum back. And this machine is called a function. Okay, let's create a function called add, and this function takes 2 variables, right? I would say first variable, you can name anything for your argument names. Okay, arguments. Oh, I'm sorry. Let's say first input and second input. And this guy takes the first input, second input, and it return. Okay, you have to make sure pay close attention this new keyword called return. And what does it return, guys? It has to add both the first input and the second input, right?
Yes, Vikram.
Yes, the first input plus
And second input.
second input. Okay, let me make it in a very clear way. I would create another variable called, this is, output. Okay, what is my output? My output is supposed to be addition of 2 variables, right? And the function should return in the sense, your blender is returning the juice. You're passing the fruits and it's returning the juice. The function is taking 2 arguments. Okay, so this in here is an argument, guys. This is the first argument, this is the second argument. Okay.
Okay, Vikram.
Perfect. So this is the first argument, this is the second argument. It's taking the first argument, adding to the second argument, putting that into an output and returning the output. Now, this is how we create a function. This is all about creating a function, right? Now, let me try to use this function. Okay, the way we use this function is called add, and instead of doing console.log add, I would pass 2 variables inside it, number 3 and 4. We no longer need this guys in here. And what will be my output, guys?
7.
Right? second. T is in here. Gautami, right? If I'm passing a different variables, I would get a different value. 6, 9. Gautami, what would be my output here?
Gautami was not there, Vikram. I think
Oh,
she kept the call.
She disconnected the call.
Yeah.
Okay. Pradeep, you're in?
Yeah, Pradeep is there.
Okay, Pradeep, what would be my output of function?
15.
Right? 15.
Yeah.
No, Pradeep, try to help me to write a function to multiply.
Yeah. First input, second input. Just instead of plus, we can put a star.
Okay.
As
So
to it.
a function, right? In the first sense, function, and the name of the function is
Multiplication.
multiply. And say first input.
Second
Can we
input.
use the same like
Yeah.
arguments?
So I'm sorry. Everything is same except for that you have to throw in a multiplier, right?
Star. Yeah.
Exactly. Awesome. Right. And the same way we create another function called subtract. And instead of a star, we do minus. Okay, guys?
Yeah.
In the same sense, we do a division. Make sense?
Yeah, okay.
Okay, so this is the name of a function. This is the name of a function. And this is also a name of a function.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
This is the keyword function, and this is a keyword that returns the function variables, and these are arguments. Okay, guys?
Okay.
Awesome. Any questions on functions?
No.
No, Vikram.
Okay. I would have 10 more minutes. If you have any questions throughout this week, I would like you to ask. You can have some work. I'm leaving for me.
మండే నుంచి ఏం చెప్తారు విక్రమ్? రియాక్ట్ చెప్తారా? మళ్ళీ జావాస్క్రిప్ట్ లింక్ ఏమైనా ఉన్నాయా విక్రమ్ చెప్పటానికి?
I covered most of the things in basic fundamentals in JavaScript, Narayana. So I'll try to kind of go a little slow on React, try to make you understand React. But if you would ask me to continue on the JavaScript, I would do there. A lot more things on the JavaScript. Prototype, inheritance, asynchronous programming, asynchronous JavaScript, promises, closures, carrying.
Yeah, okay, Vikram, but everybody should accept that one.
Yes.
They need React means you can continue React, no problem.
Pradeep, what do you think? You need React or JavaScript?
You already teach me React, but I would like to practice React. I don't know about the JavaScript, no, Vikram. I want to know a lot more about the JavaScript.
Yes. And how about
like even I feel promises and closures would be like a good thing to learn. So.
Okay, great. So instead of React, you would like to learn JavaScript more.
I mean, closures and promises. So at least for me, I have no idea about them. So.
Okay. To be.
I mean, at least they were. I mean, for an interview, I mean, at least they are important, right? So.
Yes.